Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I haven't done one of these before, but this is something that has bothered me, so I wanted to share my opinion on it, since I haven't seen anything on it. Today I want to talk about NEWBEAT's career so far since their debut in March of 2025. Just a disclaimer, everything is my own opinion, so don't start a war over anything I say. It's just my thoughts over everything, and nothing I say is intended as hate towards NEWBEAT or any of the members. So firstly, their debut concept. The thing that made NEWBEAT stand out, even pre-debut, was their promising concept. It wasn't innovation, but it appeared with a promise of a newly structured execution. The concept leaned into something darker and bold. It mixed a dream and fantasy world with supernatural elements. Though supernatural and fantasy isn't new to K-pop, they delivered a different and exciting visual approach. For me, their concept was what made me stay for their debut. And there's no denying the boys did a good job of capturing it. This brings us to the next section, their debut album Raw and Rad. Raw and Rad was one of those albums that made you question what shack it was produced in. Though most of the tracks were decent, the highlight tracks couldn't all say the same. They first had their pre-release Jello, which wasn't exactly matching the hype. It was a shocking track that didn't fully bring out the boys' vocal abilities. And once the full album dropped, the title track at least did some damage control. Flip the Coin had a much more stable production compared to Jello and a cleaner execution while keeping the concept alive, but it lacked the same thing. Real vocal exposure. The song was built on vibes and volume with no sense of rhythm and structural control. Though needless to say, the MV was still amazing to watch. It was dramatic, loud, and beautifully captured the concept in the most artistic way. But debut overall, it felt like strong visuals without sonic backing to make it stick. And don't get me started on that dreadful song Hiccups. Random moaned hiccups paired with whispers on wipers replayed on a 3-minute loop. The rest of the titles too? Tragic. Most of the song titles gave emo garage teen band. But I'll give it to them, they at least stayed true to the album name. It was raw, maybe not rad, but definitely raw. And I'm thankful. It made everything feel more real than fabricated for once. In summary, the main problem was the struggle production with creativity and no ability. It wasn't long before their second EP release on the 6th of November, Louder Than Ever. The EP felt like more damage control. This time though, they were not true to that title. Nothing screamed softer than that title track Look So Good. This is where most of my frustration comes from with the group's musical direction. Look So Good completely tossed away their initial concept and replaced it with a typical Western pop chant. Both visually and musically. I must say though, the boys did an amazing job easily slipping into the sudden change like they owned this new genre scene. But song-wise, it was finally good production but zero creativity and anything memorable. Everything was too polished. A common occurrence in K-pop with groups like aespa and a lot of smaller girl groups. Look So Good just felt like they tore away NEWBEAT's identity to fit into a safe, overplayed trend. That's what makes me frustrated. Flip the Coin was a real step in the right direction for them. As well as Raw and Rad's B-side We Are Young, which was a melodic and youthful track that brightly highlighted their vocals just right. The highlight B-side to Louder Than Ever, How Loud, dipped into the initial concept but lacked the bite to make any real impact. All the edges too smooth to match the lyrics and its intention. EP overall, the production was ability without creativity. And honestly, it made me run back to their debut and cling on to the album for my life, despite my harsh initial criticism. Louder Than Ever just isn't anything I'd make effort to listen to. In summary, I really hope they push NEWBEAT further as artists. Their debut wasn't strong, but it had charm in its roughness and raw personality. I hope they lean back on the debut concept for 2026. Despite the boys salvaging visually for Look So Good's MV, their performance skills and style doesn't match. Even Jello became a good song when I watched their performance video. They have the perfect performance fundamentals and energy for the loud hip-hop style. If they commit to the generic pop style, NEWBEAT will only fall into the shadows of this competitive system. And these boys have real talent. With it, they can grow into something so much bigger than this. Following trends won't help them grow, and for a newly debuted group, it puts them at a disadvantage as it doesn't suit for longevity. I hope their label can push them just a little more and actually focus on utilizing the boys' talents and skills to help them grow and put a concept that suits them better. I want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my little rant, and again, it is all my opinion. If you have any opinions on NEWBEAT and the music, or even other topics outside this video, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd like to read them and see your view on things. Maybe I'll make more of these in the future, but this is it for now. Make sure to subscribe, and thank you again. Till next time. Bye bye.